Hello! Welcome to my kitchen. My name is Bettina Zumdick and I would like to introduce you today to a style of Sauce Hollandaise that we make in Germany that is vegan. And this kind of Sauce Hollandaise is much less fatty than the regular American style because it doesn't contain any eggs or animal food, and it is also much easier, much more fun to make. And we're going to pair the Sauce Hollandaise with carrots and peas today. So peas, of course, rich in fiber, B vitamins, chlorophyll, all helping to detoxify and strengthen our bodies. Carrots, very high in beta-carotene, strengthening our eyes, but beta-carotene is important for many different functions in the body. As well as we're going to use a whole wheat flour, bread wheat flour, that would work best. As well as we're going to use soy milk today. You may use soy milk, however, if you do not like soy or cannot digest soy or have any other troubles with soy, because sometimes if you also have an underactive thyroid or estrogen sensitive dynamics in your body, then it is best to avoid soy. So using a rice milk or an oat milk or using plain water instead, that also works. Or if you don't mind drinking milk, you may choose to use milk as well. So then we also need a good quality of oil. Today I'm going to use a cold pressed organic olive oil, and the other ingredient that I prefer in this sauce is nutmeg. And I have a real nutmeg here that I'm going to grate into the sauce. So I'm going to begin with cutting the carrot and then cooking the carrots and peas. Now when cutting the carrot, what I'm going to do is, instead of lopping this top end right off here at the very top of the carrot, of course after washing the carrot, and these carrots have been washed, I'm going to clean around this part, because even after washing, this top part oftentimes doesn't become clean. But instead of cutting it off completely, because this was where the seed was planted and the carrot is growing from there up and down, so it's very strengthening in that sense, because it helps well with our seeds, our reproductive organs, but it also, because it's the joint of the plant, it helps with all of our joints. So very good for that. And then of course, still looking around the carrot, if there are any other places that are damaged or not looking as good after scrubbing the carrot. Generally speaking, I leave the skin on all vegetables as much as possible, because when I leave the skin on, that means more nutritious values in the vegetables. Most of the nutritional value is directly under the skin, so peeling the skin will remove a lot of it. And now I'm going to cut the carrot in half lengthwise. And then into long strips lengthwise. And then I'm going to cut them across. Now for this recipe, I need about 2 tablespoons of oil, and for 2 tablespoons of oil, I need approximately 3/4 of a cup of soy milk or liquid, and about 4 tablespoons of flour. And these are the ingredients, and then just a little bit of the nutmeg, as much as you like. And now that my carrots are cut, now we can go next to the stove and bringing some water to a boil. And we will bring the water to a boil. And now we're ready for cooking. So what I have here is water that is at a full rolling boil. I'm going to add a pinch of sea salt into the water because I'm going to blanch the carrot and peas in the water. And in order to retain more of the flavors of the vegetables, I'm going to add a pinch of salt into the water. So the water is boiling. I'm adding my carrot. These pieces of carrots are a little bit larger, so it's going to take a moment to soften them. And carrots, of course, are high in beta-carotene. Everybody knows beta-carotene is a provitamin of vitamin A, very helpful for our whole body, but especially helpful also for eyesight and night vision. And that is an important part. So then I'm going to just move the carrots around a little bit. I'm starting to blanch the carrots or boil the carrots for a moment by themselves first. And when they are boiling and a little bit soft, then I'm going to remove them out of the water. And then quickly I'm also going to blanch these frozen peas. If you have fresh peas available, wonderful. They will cook a moment longer, but frozen peas are a good alternative. And we're going to have a very useful tool, this skimmer, to take the vegetables out so that the vegetables come out of the water but not the water, and the vegetables are not lost in the water. And so we have carrot and peas, carrot downward growing and very strengthening, giving us strength and endurance, because if you look at how a carrot drills into the ground, that takes tremendous energy to grow down in there. And so this is also giving us a boost of energy, particularly strengthening the lower part of our body, our legs, our intestines. They really get fortified by eating carrots. And then we have the peas. The peas are in the bean family. That means there's protein, but also a little bit of fat, but fat with no cholesterol, no saturated fat, desaturated fat, which moves in the body easily, doesn't clog our system, doesn't add cholesterol. And peas, also the green color, of course, chlorophyll is incredibly detoxifying for the body. So we will benefit from these nutrients. I'm going to test a piece of carrot. Moment long. Seems like the carrots are done now, so I'm going to remove them from the water. And the benefits that I was mentioning about the carrots are, of course, true for all root vegetables, because all root vegetables are growing down, give us strength and endurance. And this part is just about finished. Now we're going to place the peas into the water just for a moment, because they are already thawed out, so they don't need to cook very long, just heating them all the way through so that they're not raw. And once they are cooked, we can add them, mix them with the carrots, and then pour the sauce hollandaise over it. which is the objective of this vegetable dish, to give it a creamy sauce-like consistency with the vegetables, because vegetables by itself, sometimes a little bit plain and simple, but adding a creamy sauce makes us feel more satiated, more well-rounded, gives it really a more complete finish to a meal. To complete a meal with carrots and peas and sauce hollandaise, for example, adding brown rice with it, adding a leafy green like a salad with it, and perhaps if you wanted another protein source, either fish or animal food or something like that, that would be also good. And our peas are boiling, so I'm going to take the peas out of the water. I don't wish to overcook them because otherwise their color becomes not bright green anymore, but they become gray green, dull green, and that doesn't look so appealing. So just a short time of boiling, and this part is finished. Now we're going to cook the sauce. In cooking the sauce, we need a saucepan, and we need to light our stove. Then taking olive oil or another good quality oil that is not terribly heat sensitive. And of course, let me tell you, if you're using olive oil, you may have heard olive oil is only used for seasoning it at the end of the dish. But olive oil, if you have a good quality olive oil, cold pressed organic, can actually be used also at high heat, because it is only the cheaper qualities of oil where the pits have also been squeezed out that oil becomes very acidic, and the boiling point is turning down very low and it burns very easily, but not with a good quality oil. Now I'm heating my olive oil, then I'm going to add some flour into it. Wheat flour, whole wheat flour, or partially sifted flour. And when my oil is hot, I'm, while constantly stirring, either with a whisk or in this case with my chopsticks, adding a little bit of that flour in there. To dry up the oil a little bit, make it into little pieces, and let me show you what that looks like right now. It looks like chunky pieces. Not to worry, this is the right look. Now, we're further heating it, and very slowly, either adding a little bit of water or soy milk or milk into this mixture, and vigorously stirring. Vigorously stirring. Adding more liquid. As I said, I can use a whisk like this one. And I will need to keep stirring until the soup base has become creamy. When the soup base has become creamy, if it's too thick, add more liquid. If it's not quite creamy yet, stir a little longer on a medium to high flame. And adding water as needed. And right now this is what it looks like. It is a little bit thick and creamy becoming already. And I'm going to add just a little bit more water to this. And it looks like we have reached about the right consistency, creamy and white sauce. And now we're going to add a little bit of salt, or a little bit more than just a little bit, because there's a lot of oil in this dish, and if there's no seasoning, it will not taste good. Now this base can be made with many different spices to make it interesting. You can make it Indian style with curry. You can make it with mustard to have a stronger spicy sauce. You can add pepper to it, black pepper or red pepper. I'm going to add my favorite, which is nutmeg, and turning the sauce down now. And this is a whole nutmeg, and I'm just going to grate it right into the sauce. And now that this is done, I'm going to stir it all. Let the nutmeg cook in for just 1 moment, and then we're ready to mix it with the peas and carrots. Good, we're done. Now we're going to pour the sauce over the vegetables. I have the vegetables here, and we'll pour the sauce over the vegetables. And mix it all together. Now, if you're not familiar with the term blanching, blanching means boiling in water, usually for a relatively short time. And this is our dish right here, carrots and peas with the Sauce Hollandaise vegan style. I hope you will enjoy this dish very much. I love it. It's a very traditional German dish, and please visit my kitchen again soon. Delicious.